Oh yeah, welcome to Boob Tube Buddies coverage of Sense8 Season 2, Episode 6. Isolated above, connected below. We just had to restart this recording and I still fucking got it wrong.
Oh yeah.
I'm Mike, with me is Kristin. As always, happy to have you here. Do a little bit of house cleaning first.
Let's do it.
Please go to boobtubebuddies.com. Check out our website. You can find links to all our shows. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram, all the social medias. You can always go to...
YouTube.
Did I say BoobTube?
I did.
YouTube? YouTube.
BoobTube.
Okay.
It's YouTube, but I just need to reiterate the name of our podcast.
I thought there was something new. I don't keep up with technology. You can always go to iTunes. Go to iTunes, give us a review. Hashtag Team K&M. You can also support us at Patreon. That is on our website. You can find the link there. Or just support our sponsors, Audible and Blue Apron. We are currently covering Better Call Saul, American Gods, Fargo, Twin Peaks just started up, and Foxman and Mothman just did Alien Covenant. And there's also 200 other shows. I'm shook right now. So there's also 200 other episodes of programming for you to check out.
2 good ones coming up, though.
What's that?
We've got Orange is the New Black.
Oh, Orange is the New Black.
And House of Cards.
Oh, yeah, I forgot House of Cards.
2 very good Netflixies.
I just got done watching The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which I really love.
Oh my god, I haven't even gotten a chance to watch it. I'm doing homework right now.
So
Is it good? Is it amazing?
I love those characters.
My favorite's Mike.
Oh yeah, no, my favorite is Kimmy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I love Titus. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
sorry.
he's awesome. Titus Andromedon.
Yes. The episode where he meets Mike's family.
Yeah.
And there's like the puppet. Did you not lose your shit the first time you saw that?
Yeah, he does crack me up. But like Kim, especially Kimmy, and I know this is not what you tuned in for, but Kimmy and Xanthippe.
Oh my god.
Those interactions are so funny to me.
So amazing.
Yeah. So check out Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. We're not going to cover it, but it's a good show.
I think Team K&M might have to come back for season 4.
Maybe.
Best of May.
Yeah. Oh, definitely Best of May. Yeah.
I can finish it.
Okay. But right now, let's go ahead and go to a little thing we like to call summing it up in a tweet. And I'm only halfway through this beer. All right.
You're making me look real good right now.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're summing it up, just to summon it up. Summon it up, oh yeah, we're summing it up. Oh yeah, we're summing it up, just to summon it up. Summon it up and up.
All right, you went first last time, so I'll go ahead and go first this time. Once again, I'm not overly impressed with this. But
me either for mine, so don't worry about it.
The Scotsman's joined in. Kala's living in sin. Even Cappius is getting some, but it's still nothing for old son.
Oh, I like it. No, it's still good.
Okay.
I like it. Mine's probably around the same. Okay, here we go. Sexy time and gay parades. No manitas. Home. That's my new, by the way, that's my new celebrity name for them.
Who?
No manitas.
For who?
Amanita Nomi.
No Manita is like locked in, by the way. I don't mean to interrupt your thing, but...
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
It's nice that you came up with that without realizing it, but that is like a huge hashtag for this show. You want to go ahead and start over?
I feel very basic right now. All right, I'm going to start over. Sexy, I was very proud of myself.
This episode is off to a weird start.
Let's get weird. Okay, I'm going to start this one more time, guys. Stick with me. Sexy time and gay parades. No Manita's home. And Silas has AIDS. A lot went down and isolated above. But Riley going to Chi-Town? Yeah, I'm not sure I love.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's awesome. Like, that's really good, especially considering how drunk we are.
Yes, exactly.
And that
no Manitas.
is summing up in a tweet. And also, right now, we'll go ahead and throw it to an ad just to make sure we get that in this time.
Summon it up
Hey there, little buddies. Does the state of the world leave you in despair and make you want to leave this world only to try out another one? Well, you don't have to wait 50 years for Elon Musk to colonize Mars. You can step into another world right now with Audible. That's right. With Audible, you can go to any foreign world you want with classic authors such as H.G. Wells, Philip K. Dick, George Orwell, and many, many more. And just when you finish one book and become depressed and have to confront the harsh reality that you live in, well, that's when you realize there's 180,000 more titles to choose from. So go to audibletrial.com/Boob Tube Buddies to try it free for 30 days. You'll be doing yourself a favor, and I guarantee you won't regret it. Nor will your fragile, fragile psyche.
Super hard to play it cool after that.
Yeah, it was. It was a little rough.
It's all right. Stick with us. Stick with us. So, Riley and Will are on a train.
Nice train. I like old-timey trains.
I do love old-timey trains, and so does Riley. And she asks why there aren't more of them. And we get the basic BuzzFeed answer. We're millennials, so we can't have nice things.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, you millennials.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How much older are you than me?
Enough that I'm not a fucking millennial. I'm an Xer.
I'm literally like right on the border.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be a name for the 30-somethings that are, and that's only like 2 or 3 years, that are in that millennial category.
I think I'm 8 years older than you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. You and I are done.
But,
You're dead to me, Michael.
Old Man Ahoy pops in. Which is what I'm calling these, by the way. We talked about a name. I'm calling what Whispers does hijacking, and when other Sense8s show up, I'm calling it pop-ins.
Pop-ins? I like it. It's good. Everyone's apparently on blockers.
Yeah.
That's like the thing to do. Like everybody, like they thought they were amazing for finding blockers, and now they meet other Sense8s, and I'm like, yeah, cool story, bro.
Yeah, I wish they had a different name for them, because this is a very...
It's a very Sense8 name for them.
Well, they're beta blockers.
BPO.
Yeah.
Blockers, like it's just.
Yeah, when I was
seeing a trend here.
When I was a kid, there was sunglasses that were called blue blockers, and so every time they say it, that's what I think of. And the beta blockers are something that they tried to give me because I have like weird shaky hands. But they
ooh, then I need those.
Yeah, that's what they tried to do, but they didn't do anything for me because
of course they're not shaking now.
It's all in my head.
Okay, so Old Man of Hoy does not trust them.
Right. Listen, what did you think about his accent? Did you think it was over the top?
At first, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually just how he sounds.
Yeah.
Like, it's super Scotty from Star Trek.
Well, at first I thought, like, oh, God, here we go. Another over-the-top character. Like, I started, I'm like, I started out, like, loving this show, and then there was a lot of cliches and formulas and things thrown in there where I'm like, but I still loved it because there was a lot of parts to it. And to me, when I saw him pop in, I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Does this need to be added?
Yeah, same.
But at the end of the episode, kind of liked him.
Right. He definitely grows on you. And I did think that like the accent was problematic for me. Mm-hmm. So when I looked him up and I saw who he was and that like he sounds pretty much like that, I'm like, okay, it's just a really hard Brogish accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still pretty intense.
It is.
Yeah. He does that, like, it's Carmen Cuba, and it's somebody trying to do, she's like, you. Yeah.
He does sound like an extra from the Highlander movies, but it's forgivable.
I love it. Well, this is heartbreaking when Sun says goodbye to Sensei.
Yeah. That is confusing. It's like even when you say sensei, like I'm like, is she just mispronouncing sensei?
Yeah. That's why I threw it in my stomach after I tweet last
time.
Yeah,
you got much bigger chorus cans than I do.
The line, nothing I have done in my life exceeds the honor to have been your teacher.
Yeah. It's nice because it just kind of confirms that the closeness of these two, and that even though her dad is gone and she's got like no family, this guy is basically family.
Sense8 pretty much has given me a template for how to fire, let go, and say goodbye to people at work.
Yeah.
So people I don't like and don't do good at their job, they've exceeded their value.
Right.
People I do like and maybe being transferred to another department, that is what I'll say to them.
Yeah, it's nice. Just get quotable. Like I was reading an article today, and they
It's a very quotable show.
I wish I had what the website was, because you'd probably find it useful. But it has at the end of each article, it's got all the quotes from the quotable.
And they have I feel like they make a point to make these strong quotes. Like
yeah, oh, absolutely.
I feel like in the last episode where it's like
a series
and
of them.
Wolfgang, and I'm like, did you guys just
yeah.
have some like throwaways that you wanted to throw in there?
Yeah, sometimes it's a little, and I think I said it, like they're beating you with a blunt force object, but you know it's okay as long as it is meaningful to the episode. I don't have a problem with it. And they're not just coming out and saying things for the sake of saying things.
Yeah. So when they do exactly like you just said, when they do those things in this episode, I hold till the end.
Right.
And I'm like, am I upset about this? We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
And then okay. Lito.
You guys know how we feel about Lito.
Oh. And I love that he calls him family.
Fucking omelet.
Oh.
Like, what is that?
Frittata on steroids.
Is that what it was?
That is what it looked like.
Oh my god, that looks so good. And
I
then
want
he
to
like,
eat it.
Then he just like flips it. He does everything so cool. So he's just like
just like nonchalant.
Flips it out of the pan onto the platter that he's carrying. It's like, that's, dude, what are you not awesome at?
We need to start a campaign where we get Lito's attention.
I'm just gonna get a t-shirt. Like a Lito t-shirt. I'm just
that
gonna
we wear to Amsterdam.
Yeah. But he basically is telling his family, which
I'm gonna cut my hair short and put a blue strip in my hair.
Oh, you could pass.
And then I'm gonna go to Amsterdam, and then I'm gonna tweet him and tell him, meet me here.
I'm gonna grow out my beard, and then when the good times start, I'm gonna shave.
Love it.
But he basically is telling Hernando and Daniela that he's agreed to do the gay pride festival.
Yes!
And they're super excited.
I know. I love that he calls them family, though.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. And like Daniela's super cute in this particular scene. So
she's amazing. Where she's like, "Oh, is it too much? Oh, is it too much?"
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
so
she's
much.
the right amount of bubbly. What's odd though, and I don't know why it jumped out at me in this particular scene, but I wonder why Lito hasn't told them about the voices.
Okay. Get out of me. Because that is exactly...
phrasing.
Okay, so sorry. That's actually a phrasing with me and my friends where it's like, get out of my head, but somebody accidentally said, get out of me once, and it stuck since. And that particular person was the person texting you earlier.
Oh, yeah.
One day she said, get out of me. We said, ew, gross. And it stuck ever since. So get out of me. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, if they're okay with telling Bug, or if the Wachowskis are okay with writing it to where we can tell Bug, why doesn't family know about this yet?
Right. The only people left are Lito, Capheus, Kala, and Sun. And Sun doesn't have anybody she can really tell.
Yeah.
To be fair. And Kala, I don't know if she's in a position to be telling
her
anybody.
Dad, maybe?
Maybe. But like I give her culture something, and I know that Lito is just he's come out, and that's enough for one day. But I think these are
Hernando and Daniela is different.
Right. The closeness makes me wonder why he hasn't said something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Also, in past episodes where they have those montages, I feel like Daniela and Hernando are a part of like the cluster.
So do I. Yeah. Especially Hernando.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he knows, and we're good, and like,
yeah, he's been a part of those orgies.
He has, right?
Yeah. So it's it's a little confusing, and I don't know why that particular episode. Maybe it's just that you see how close they actually
Does
are.
it happen though?
Does he tell him?
Yeah.
I'm sure eventually.
Okay, good.
But I don't know if it's this season. Yeah.
All right.
Winks translate really well on podcast. But then we cut to.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh no! You go to the next one because I want to go to the one after that.
So we cut to Nomi. She moves. She's now after E death. She moves into her new apartment.
I don't get this.
Here's the thing that I liked about this scene. Okay, so they got their new apartment. I don't care about that.
Is that a new apartment?
Well, whatever. But there was a lot of furniture
I
in
thought
there.
it was the old apartment.
It might have been.
Which doesn't make sense because Bendix knows where they live. So you could race them till you're blue in the face, but he still knows where they live.
Yeah, they must not like.
That's what I didn't get.
In this post-E-Death world, as Bug would say, like I guess it doesn't matter. Like maybe you're free to move back, and so if that is the old place, and I apologize if I didn't recognize it, but like that makes sense. But what I like about this scene, there's no dialogue. So, and I know that sounds shitty, but
no, but you're right. It's like a more of a realization.
Yeah, and the scene works. Okay, something good happened. You're happy with one another. Boom, boom, boom. You're in love. Okay,
Naomi doesn't talk.
Right. There's no talking. There's no lame lines. There's no overly emotional, misplaced, whatever. And so I'm like, oh, okay.
Actually, very good point. There's no overly emotional, misplaced, whatever. That's such a good way to put it because at first I thought you meant like Naomi didn't have a line and good because the lines they're giving her, yet the lines she's putting out are not translating. Yeah. But you're right. It was a good silent moment where you could feel the happiness.
Nice, simple, sincere moment. So absolutely. I liked it. And then, I know. Go ahead.
Oh, wait. Well, you got Zakia. She pretty much pulls over the Van Damme.
Yeah.
And,
this is cute. This is another cute scene.
It is. It's again very kind of cheesy and cliche, but still good. Yeah. She admits it though.
It's very rom-com.
Yes, but she admits it just like they admitted the pregnant pause. She says she's looking for some courage. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, she likes Homeboy, and she sums it up in saying, "This is going to sound cheesy, but luck is something that reminds us how beautiful the world can be." And it's cheesy, but who doesn't need a little cheese in the world every now and then?
Right. Listen, and people question me sometimes because I watch a lot of cheesy TV, but this is why I watch it. It's simple, it's nice, it's easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's who doesn't need that every now and then?
Yeah. I mean, it's why like people make fun of me because I listen to I watch so many CW shows. But that's what the CW is. It's cheese.
You need that sometimes. Yeah. You need that actually a lot more of the time because
I come home from work and I pop in The Flash and it's like, oh, for an hour I don't have to think about shit. And
exactly.
It's there's nothing. I'm not committed to it. It's not like Fargo or something like that or Game of Thrones where I have to like try and get into the politics.
That's why I had to stop watching Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. Well,
everybody just kept dying over and over again. And
right.
I was just like,
so it's just
this is no show. I signed up for a CW show to where, like, it's just light and, like...
Right. There's drama, but there's always something uplifting in there, so get off our back.
So, actually, that's why we love this show so much, because there is drama, but at the end of the day, it's nothing but cheese and light.
Exactly.
Love is love.
Yeah.
So
it's supposed to be an optimistic, positive show. So...
we are deep... depressing people who really are just like a cloud of bubbles.
Yeah. This is what I take in place as Zoloft.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Exactly. So perfect. Okay. So now.
But she says that she also says because they address the elephant in the room, and she's like, I loved a woman. She's like, I fall in love with a person and not their genitals, which is like the opposite of what I do. No, but like it's such a weird thing to even think.
I like their genitals.
Like I'm really in love with your genitals. Like all this up above it, your genitals are fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
that is a very.
But I think so they kiss. And then Jella's sitting there and he's honking the horn. But what I really like is the old woman from season 1, and she's hanging out the window.
The one sticking out the window?
With a big smile on her face, who's been on that bus like every time.
It felt like a romantic comedy.
Yeah, it was very cute. And then, yeah, I wish we had sound effects here because it'd be fireworks and bells.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, go ahead.
We got the all caps sex scene.
I wrote finally in all caps.
This is such a sex scene.
It's good. Like it's not
a great sex scene.
It's not as graphic as some of the other sex scenes we've seen, which I think fits well.
I will say, however, it's not Zakia and Cathius I don't want to see. But personally, as you've heard over the episodes, I love my Wolf Kala's chemistry, I didn't need a combining montage Sense8 thing.
So,
I just wanted to see
what's
Kala
funny,
and Wolfgang fuck. Let's just put it out there.
So what's funny is that while I'm watching it, and I thought about it, and I think this kind of the same thought was going through my head, is like, it's not that I don't want to see them, but the scene that was happening with Capheus and Zakiya having sex was very Sense8 season 1, and the one with Kala and Wolfgang was a little bit more mature, I guess, and it's a little bit more invested. You're just much more invested. And it's like,
well,
come
that's
on.
what I'm saying. Like, don't take something that people have been waiting an entire season and a half for and mix it with somebody else.
Exactly.
It had nothing to do with Capheus and Zakiya, because, like, I would have loved to see that, but, like, I needed to see my Wolf Kala by itself.
Hashtag Wolf Kala.
Hashtag Wolf Kala by itself. I like, every moment I was like, I'm like, ugh, come on. I just want to see my Wolf Kala.
And we were talking last episode about some editing things, and this is what I was referring to. So while they're doing this, there's something interesting that's going on. So from time to time, they're in the pool or they're in his room, and the lighting is shifting back and forth. So sometimes they're in the pool and it's night out. Sometimes they're in the pool and it's day out. And so if they're going to do that, if they're going to be that kind of, these two people are kind of merging and their worlds are merging and everything's mixed up, I think I'm not going to have a problem moving forward when there's like little discrepancies when people pop in and things aren't quite how you want them to be, or the group is together, like the shots when they're all doing the shots. So I think this really kind of changed how I look at things in a good way.
I'm still hesitant.
Yeah.
I am. I'm not going to lie, but I still need to keep watching forward. So maybe I'll have a different feeling. But in the scene, I was just like, God, just leave him alone. Like the first time, Riley and Will? Wasn't that alone?
Were they alone?
I thought they were.
I don't know. I don't think they were.
Are they not? I would be happy to. All I said was, I would have loved to have it alone, but either way, it was hot. Mm-hmm. So, score.
I mean, the only thing I was disappointed in was like no nudity.
Well, there was no nudity, tons of sex, no nudity.
Yeah. I mean, just the Kala and Wolfgang one. And
I definitely just wanted to slap his ass, though. I'm not going to lie. Let's just put it out there.
Yeah.
I love him.
Daddy wants his sugar.
Yeah. Mama wants her sugar. So.
But it ended really funny. So the series ends up really funny when they wake up and Rajan is... So did she apparently have like wild sex with Rajan in replace of? Right? So that's what I thought.
That's what I had a question of.
He seemed really happy about the whole thing.
I was like, she obviously like had sex with Rajan thinking he was, or in the mindset of...
Yeah, and that's interesting if that's what's going on.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's assumed when you saw...
That is the...
Yeah, when you saw the big orgy scenes in season 1, it's like clear. Lito and Hernando are having sex, and then this is all going on around them. Mm-hmm. But in this one, like, you're not seeing all that added stuff, but we get the distinct impression that Rajan was a happy camper. Exactly.
And it was almost like what happened between Lila Fachini and Wolfgang in the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
But I feel like it can just get messy. Like, I don't know, not the sex. I mean, I meant like the editing back and forth. Like, what are the rules? In this kind of show, you kind of want to set some rules as a viewer. Like, what's allowed, what's not, so I know it's continuity. Like, what's...
Yeah, so you're not having this discussion.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're trying to figure out what just happened or what happened that you didn't get to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he woke up and like you said, in the first episode, you saw Hernando having sex with Lito, so you knew that this was happening, but this is also happening on the other side. But in this one, like, there was no inclination that...
Yeah, I wonder if some of that is... Like, I don't know if you saw, I'm sure you did, the interview with, I think it was with Max Riemelt and Tina Desai. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, the sex scenes are really uncomfortable now because we're all so close. Yeah. So I wonder if that's like part of it. Like, maybe they're just trying to cut back on these sex scenes where they're all just, it looks like Caligula.
That's not the way to go about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a big part of what drew me into the show. Whatever.
Exactly. And I'm, like I told you, I'm a huge Wolf Gala fan. So...
Yeah.
I needed that all alone, completely X-rated, by myself in a room alone. Yeah. Sorry, too far.
No problem with that. I think most people would be of the same mind.
Exactly. And then we get
it's caffeine. Well, so Rajan is kissing Wolfgang to wake him up, and Wolfgang's got this shit-eating grin on his face.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was very funny.
That was so good.
And then we go to Capheus is waking up, and he does his little celebration dance in the window.
And he's like, I'm in a rich fucking place right now.
So he's like going through the kitchen. I mean, turning on the water. It's all amazing to him because he lives in African slums, basically. Dude needs to just edge the boxers down a little bit. He's wearing them a little too high.
Could not agree with you more.
And I don't care. I'm comfortable. So we've been talking about how we prefer the first Capheus.
Yes.
I think for me, like this episode kind of clarified it. This guy is a big dude. So this Capheus now is not physically an underdog like the other Capheus was. So like I think
that?
Well, I think the physicality of it is I don't want to say imposing, but it plays into the Capheus and the underdog role a little bit more. So it's not a big deal, but like I'm watching it, and I don't think it's the main factor, but I think it's a factor. Like I liked Little Capheus.
Listen, I don't know if it might be the writing, like with Nomi, or if it might be, I don't know what it is. I still like the old Capheus.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think he's a better actor, but I think the physical presence for me was noticeable in this episode. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's really big.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like he could actually just go kick somebody's ass, but the other Capheus looked like probably couldn't.
Yes, and that's what we're supposed to feel. Yes. I couldn't agree more. I wish I could, but I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I have opinions. I don't want to
No, I don't
spat them out, but I really wish they didn't get rid of that guy.
I know. I mean,
there was something infectious about him.
Right. I did. Like I said, I just think he was better overall.
I don't dislike this new guy.
Yeah, we're not trying to dump on him.
He were the first person to be introduced as Capheus.
It's a major change in the show for something that was super enjoyable in the first thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with being
I don't
attached.
think they realized how enjoyable it was for the audience.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I don't think
right, and I don't
they realized that.
And I don't think they had any choice but to get rid of him. So, I mean,
yeah.
But it's still, you can miss somebody.
That happened in, I hate to reference back to this, but this happened in the second, maybe the beginning of third season of Grey's Anatomy. There was a huge character.
I don't watch Grey's Anatomy.
Called one of the other main characters a fag.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like in real life?
Yeah.
IRL?
And IRL.
As the kids say?
Yes.
Fucking millennials.
And TBH, he called him a fag, IRL. And they fired him. And it was one of the best plot lines in the show at the time. To the point where even 10 years later, they were like, Burke might come back. And we're like, Burke's back! Burke's back! And he's like this horrible dude. But the character itself, you were not the character.
So, I think another reason I'm okay with this... No, it's all right. Another reason it's okay with this is like one of my like deep, dark secrets, and I'm not so secretive about it, is like I used to love me some soap operas. Mm-hmm. And this is just really a common occurrence in soap operas where they trade out... Like Carly on General Hospital has been played by at least 7 different actresses.
Days of Our Lives does much better at that, though. They hold on to their characters a lot better than General Hospital does. Yeah. And I know this because ditto.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get a chance to watch them anymore. I'm not going to record them. But yeah, so like I'm okay with it to a certain extent, even though like say the General Hospital thing, there's Carly's I really liked.
Leto?
I would stop watching.
Exactly.
Yeah, well so it's just not the same kind of character.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I love the person that they've made Capheus.
Right.
Capheus is a great person. And Toby, do not know how to pronounce his last name.
Onomore? I don't know.
Okay.
I shouldn't have tried.
Let's go for that.
Sometimes it's better to
I
stay
like
on the
him.
sideline.
I don't dislike him. I'm not sitting here going, ugh, I hate him. Ugh,
Right.
I'm over it. There was just something charming.
Yeah, he's not as
about the first
magnetic.
one. Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
yeah. But speaking of Leto.
Yes, sorry. We kind of got off on a tangent there, but I really don't care. Okay, so
They arrive in Brazil.
oh my god, this greeting.
Yeah.
So cute.
It is. I mean, the guy, the leader.
With the big scarf.
Leader
and
always sounds
everything.
bad. Yeah, he's super flamboyant. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But they want him to make an address.
Right, that's the only thing I have written here. Address with a question mark. And
Yes.
Leto seems a little surprised and maybe a touch nervous.
Yeah. Well, rightfully so. And then it does quickly pan back to Kala having hot flashes because she's so horny.
Yeah, thirsty.
Exactly. Homegirl is thirsty.
He's out there sweating, playing some football.
I just love how, like, she's in an office, nothing's going on. She's like, oh, ooh.
It is the first time I haven't liked Felix because I hate fucking people like that in sports. Mm-hmm. I have a good time, but like he's shoving people in the head.
Oh, yeah, it was the worst.
Whatever.
And I'm pretty sure the guy that was going against him was the guy that played in 50 Shades of Grey, but I digress. Anyway, like I saw that and I'm like, but yeah, I didn't like Felix in this, and then him walking up to a wall for a good straight 10 minutes talking to himself, and Kala being in the office making out with somebody, because it was very like prominent in both of these scenes for both of them that when they were alone, they were definitely doing the third grade, like, I'm making out with myself type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was very weird. I didn't like that. Like, the behind the back, like.
Yeah, but Kala's having doubts. So, like, the good part of her.
Oh, and then she goes over the whole.
The yang is overpowering the yin just for a second.
Pearl party, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fact of life. What are you going to
It
do?
happens.
Is it the green pearl?
No, it's not. It's some crazy person that they're talking about, but it's cool. But no, it's as soon as she's like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, girl,
Yeah, and she's
you
like,
can do this.
and she's like, I'm trying to build a life, and he just kind of says, whatever. Pretending is no life is the line he uses, and that's. And
It's true.
It is true. Yeah, I mean.
I'm like,
He
you're
gets-
so right, Wolfgang.
Yeah, and then he just kind of walks off and does his thing.
Of course, I'm attracted to this guy.
Yeah, right.
I'm your typical girl. Of course, I'm attracted to Wolfgang.
He seems always to be just casually invested.
Yes. Actually, to go back to City of Thieves, that book I was reading that I wanted Max Riemelt to play Clayton, calculated neglect is what he called it.
Perfect.
Calculated neglect.
Yeah.
And I am your basic bitch when it comes to that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and it obviously is working.
Exactly. Calculated neglect. All right, so we've got that. But then, okay, we've got the parade.
We go to the parade, yeah. We have the little dinner beforehand where they're still trying to convince him to make the speech. And then he decides to do it after seeing a couple kissing at the restaurant.
Yes.
And it's a great speech. And he just, he gets up there and he's like, I'm a gay man. And
I am a gay man!
Yeah, and he says it publicly and he just builds and builds and builds
The
each
only
time
thing
he
that
says it.
distracted me was it the same thing? Please tell me that you were distracted by this too.
The screens?
Yes!
Yeah, the
Where
screens.
she felt like Jennifer Lawrence from Hunger Games, like making a speech. Like there was like a million Litos in the background. I'm like, oh, I could totally relate to this if this wasn't.
Yeah, it's kind of like that
distracting me.
effect when you're looking in a mirror when there's a mirror behind you and the sound is like delayed and
It was too much.
Yeah, it's a little hard to look at.
As Lita would say, demasiado.
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 But then it's party time, right?
Oh, absolutely. I want Daniela's earrings.
The OMG earrings.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Absolutely.
And then
to the point where I put a note about it.
I think my favorite part of it though is when you see Brian Smith, Will, and he's got Lito on his shoulders with the starry underwear, and it's just
point that out to Jason. I'm like, do you see this right now? This is amazing.
And I mean, that's actually happening. Like that wasn't like that's the Sao Paulo Gay Pride Parade that they're filming all this for. So it was really, really a cool scene.
Wait, that was for the Gay Pride Parade?
Yeah. It was like they like
Stop it.
did it as a part of the parade because I mean it fit the theme.
No, they didn't. Are you serious?
Yeah. So you
That's
you
amazing.
can see it. So it was all part of the festivities.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I want to watch that.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they're all there. They're having a blast.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then
I did not know that.
Then it cuts back to it's post party. Riley and Sun are sitting there, kind of reminiscing.
That really depressing scene where they realize they haven't gone anywhere, they've just switched places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a little depressing.
Wah. Yeah. No, but that's pretty much what they're talking about. They share a cigarette and they realize that the last time they've been there, one was missing their parent and regretting something, and now it's kind of vice versa.
Yep.
So, can we move past that? Because that's super depressing.
The Sun and Riley thing?
Yeah.
I mean, we can. We're moving right into Nomi.
Ooh.
Nominita. And she's at the dress fitting.
But
Yeah, she's at the dress fitting for her sister's wedding. She's a maid of honor.
That's a harsh thing her dad said. That's pretty harsh.
It is harsh, but like when she asks her sister, like, what does dad say? And she's like, oh, don't worry, I can take it. And as soon as her sister says it, it's like, I don't think you can take it.
She's like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, that was a little deeper cut than she was prepared for. But like,
oh no, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's fine, bro.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
These
The higher the voice,
tears of joy.
It's fine.
Stress is really tight. These shoes are
Super
uncomfortable.
Okay.
But as they're having this moment, Amanita's fucking super app goes off again, I guess. So she gets a message, and the cabin that we've discussed has been found.
Yes.
And we also find out that Amanita was raised in a commune.
Oh, you mean like Mamma Mia style?
Sort of, but
She don't know who her daddy is. There's a couple that it might be.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much because it's going to be something I'm going to bitch about in the future.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
I'm excited.
apparently you haven't gotten there because I don't see how anybody.
No, I stopped at this episode.
Oh, okay. I don't see how anybody could like what's coming next with that.
Really?
But
ooh, I'm excited.
yeah. So
Stay tuned.
yeah.
'Cause I will.
So we find out, and they go running off to go find the cabin. And then there's like it's a weird scene with Will and Riley and Whispers and his wife.
Yeah, I was like, Will has a dream, but it's Milt's world with Riley and the same child, and
Let's just to make it really simple. The whole point of this was to see Will open that safe. Just if you're watching the show or you haven't watched it and you haven't gotten ahead of where we are. The whole point of all that was basically for Will to open that safe.
That's really stupid.
Yeah, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on that because it made no sense to me.
Excuse me, that's really stupid. I'm overcome right now.
Oh, that's all right. So then we
I'm
jump to
overcome with how stupid that was.
so we jump back to Wolfgang. Leela Fukini pops back in, and one of her sensates is with her. So we see that for the first time. Mm-hmm. And they don't believe.
Who is this guy, by the way?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was one of the sidekicks to Johnny Depp in Blow.
He reminded me of one of the characters from The Matrix too.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little shocking.
Yeah, well, that might be why.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so Wolfgang shows her a picture of Whispers, and they're like, no, there's no way that he's been hunting these people
because
for a year.
Because he said he's been alive for a year, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, they just can't believe it. And they call him the cannibal.
Is that who they're... That's what I was going to ask you.
Because he eats his own.
They are referring to Whispers when they call him the cannibal?
Yeah, because he killed his...
Because he's a sensate.
Yeah, I think that what they call it, it's clustercide.
Clustercide, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I even have who is the cannibal? Clustercide. Like I didn't realize that the cannibal was Whispers.
Yeah, they don't go into a whole lot of detail about it, but I mean, we can kind of guess that this is something he's capable of.
Oh, absolutely. And then we got
the beer burps in this podcast are getting really bad.
It's all good, dude. It's all good. We're going back and forth. It's cool. And then Lila shoots Wolfgang again, like a fucking creep. That actually really scared me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, not him.
Yeah, and we find like
Don't touch my Wolfgang.
Right. She's basically a hit woman. And she's hunted down the original.
She's kind of a badass hit woman, though.
Right, the original king of Berlin that we
King
saw.
of North or whatever.
That we saw the bald dude in season 1 at the end of season 1, and she kills him. And was that the lead singer for AC/DC that she killed too?
I'm pretty sure.
Did you think that was one of the outfits?
Absolutely.
That is not one of the outfits.
No,
it's only one outfit.
I did not.
Far more casual than that.
Don't worry, I did not.
Yeah.
You should be more worried that I thought it was the guy in the bar with the suspenders.
I'd rather wear the suspenders.
And then we've got Mr. Hoy who is back.
Yep.
And in order to build trust with Riley, okay, so there's a whole scene here. And we can either go through the whole scene or we can just like kind of dumb it down.
You can just dumb it down.
Okay, cool. All right, so pretty much they don't trust each other. And then it kind of eventually the conversation turns to where they might trust each other. And Riley's like, fuck it, here's where I live. And he's like, all right, well, if you're going to do that, fuck it, here's where I live.
Yeah.
And he actually lives with a woman named Kirsty or something like that.
I didn't get the name. Like, I just wrote down that he's in Scotland.
And he's actually living with somebody who used to be the wife of a Sense8, but
right.
not
I do
a
remember
sensorium. He sits there and talks to Riley back and forth about where they're at and that he lives in Scotland and blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of turns into the conversation about BPO.
Yep.
And eventually...
He's like a founding father of BPO, kind of.
Exactly. And he pretty much built from the ground up with Ruth...
Al-Sadawi.
Thank you. And he says, you know, when our kind have nightmares, they have nightmares about this guy.
Yeah. Whispers.
So there went my theory about him turning into a good guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, it still could happen. I mean, if his... Not to theorize too much, but if his situation broke down in BPO suddenly, certainly he could become an ally.
I would hope so.
The enemy of my enemy.
I'm not going to lie. I do love those approaches. As generic and cliche as they are, I do like them.
Yeah, it's the enemy of my enemy, so...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we've got... Okay, so there's the whole thing about the archipelago.
Yep.
Is that how you say it?
Archipelago, yeah. Whatever.
Isolated above, connected below.
Oh, it's so satisfying.
Every time.
And then we get some
It's the real first social network.
Yeah, that was a cool way of doing it. And we actually see him kind of putting it into action where, you know, they're trying to hunt down Whispers. And so he jumps and you see just tons of Sense8. So we know there's bunches of them. And they're just communicating.
Yep.
It's kind of like a really advanced game of, what was it we used to play in elementary school? Where you sit in a circle and you tell the person.
I was going to say Oregon Trail, but.
No. So you're sitting in a circle and you say.
Telephone.
Telephone. Is that what it is?
It's just telephone.
Oh, okay.
Where you go back and forth and then the message gets lost, kind of.
Oh, it was telegraph back in my day. so that's the misunderstanding. But like,
was it really?
No. So.
Oh, I was like, stop it right now.
Yeah. So we see how quickly they can communicate, and yeah, that whole idea that, you know, they've had basically social media since the Neolithic age.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And okay, so then we go to that. He's gonna do that.
Yeah.
And he needs the name of. What is it? He wants the name of the cannibal, right?
Yeah, and it ends up, like, his little game of telephone ends up at Clovy's office.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a woman sitting outside Clovy's office.
Like, oh, shit.
Yeah, and so he's like, you got to go to Chicago. Back to the beginning.
And then you find out. So, in between all of this, by the way,
shit.
Amanita and Nomi are visiting the cabin, and they're seeing a bunch of memories with Jonas and Angelica. And they get a bunch of memory flashbacks, and you find out that Angelica actually killed...
Raul.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it almost looked like she was hijacking him.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And all I put is, oh, fuck, Riley has to go to Chi-Town.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. They're pretty much like, when did things go to shit? When they told Angelica to go to Chi-Town. And then it's like a scene of all the Sense8s and then a close-up of Riley.
Yep.
Boom.
Black. Well, credits. So it's about to get a lot of fun. It's about to get really fun. And they're going to bring back an old character that we haven't seen since season 1. And a lot of fun.
Is it the old Cavius?
No. Unfortunately, no.
Right, fine.
But it's gonna be really like these next 2 episodes. You're gonna get to see this outfit I've been talking about.
Ooh, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Probably gonna see my favorite episode, my favorite scene in the entire series is coming up.
Okay, so Mathis, just for the future reference, if you could just label these episodes when you put them out as Michael's favorite outfit, part 1, part 2, part 3, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's how I like to do things in general.
Pretty much.
But that's what we got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in, and you want to tie a bow on this bitch?
See y'all later.
Peace.